Hi George,
Hello.
congratulations. You had a great battle with your old teammate there at the start, but what sort of challenge are you expecting now from them the rest of the weekend? Were they closer than you thought?
Yeah, I mean, Lewis did a great job at the start and caught me sleeping, to be fair, so I was a bit annoyed by that. But they look really quick in the race. I think more actually they look offset in qualifying. Like their qualifying performances are always worse than we expect, but their race pace is kind of where we expect. And we saw it in Melbourne, we saw it here. They're very much in the fight, and we need to try and keep on pushing because they're not slow.
How did you enjoy that, and is there anything more you could have got out of it today at all?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, particularly at the beginning, and then obviously less so towards the end. But great to see Ferrari in the top three and to be a part of that. And unfortunately, it was the first time that I've been in that battle this year with George, and unfortunately my left tire gave up quite early. But it's good. It was a good experience. Not too much lost ground-wise, and we'll see what changes we can make now so that it's better for tomorrow.
Well, it was quite an exciting sprint race. I kind of enjoy it actually. It's very tricky because obviously you have a very limited amount of battery that you can use, but it was quite fun with George, with Lewis as well. The first part of the race, it was all about managing and watching the guys in front fight, and there I knew that it was my time to just take care of my tires because they will put quite a lot of stress fighting on those tires. And when I started pushing, everything felt really good. Then there was a safety car which resetted everything. Tires were not ready at all, restarting out of turn 14, which I nearly lost the car. And then I catched a little bit George, but wasn't quite enough.
A tough start, and then the contact with Isaac, but essentially had you stayed out and not pitted under the safety car and taken the penalty at the end of the race, do you think that would have been any better result at all?
No, I don't think. I think it would have been the same probably. I think it would have been difficult to build a 10-second gap. Definitely I couldn't have kept the guys behind with the soft because obviously there was graining, which was quite severe, so it was not easy, but I need to check on the start. I think there was a mistake on the procedure on my side, and that then meant that I had a really bad start because obviously when I released the clutch I had no turbo, and I also risked to anti-stall. So need to improve that on my side and make sure that doesn't happen tomorrow. But now we'll focus on the qualifying.
Thank you. Thanks very much to talk about from that race, but essentially I guess I want to ask you, if you go back into the garage now, what do you want to say to the guys to get turned around for qualifying? What do you need now from this car?
I have not a lot of words at the moment, to be honest. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, so start of course is one problem that we have to fix, but then after that the balance is of course all over the place. Probably the highest degradation of everyone out there, which is just uncontrollable. Plus and some other bits on the car that were not, I would say well prepared. So we just need to get our stuff together.
Hi Lando. How was that sprint, and what have you learned from yesterday's quali and sprint that you're going to be able to take into the rest of this weekend and try and get an even better result?
We learned. Of course, we've learned some things, and there were some things we could have done better yesterday. But I think yesterday showed we kind of overachieved because our pace to the Ferrari was just nowhere near quick enough today. So. Very happy with yesterday and very happy with today. Just not the pace in the car at the minute to race the guys ahead. They can get the tyres to work better and they have a much more stable car, and we're struggling quite a bit with that here. So, P4 was as good as we could achieve today.
Thank you. I'm guessing you'll be disappointed with that in the end. I know you lost a place as well in the pit stops. Just can you sum up that race for me and what you can take into the rest of this weekend to get a better result?
I think we just need to find a lot more lap time. I think it was pretty clear that we just didn't have the pace to match Ferrari or Mercedes. And we were quite a lot quicker than everyone else. So that's probably the biggest thing.
All right, thanks. And the sprint as well, that was the plan, to make sure you're in that top 8 today, and you achieved it.
Exactly. We had a good start, which is great. Then I found myself after kind of 2 laps in clean air and basically I was just looking at my front left tire, not even looking at the track, just trying to protect my front left tire as much as I possibly could. Unfortunately, still it started to grain and open up, and at that stage, there was Isaac behind me fighting hard with Liam. When Liam came past me, it was like he was in a different race. It was almost like the feeling I got when I was getting lapped last week. You know, he just flew by, and I didn't even try and defend because he was just seconds a lap faster. Then I saw he was on the hard, so I could kind of understand why. But you know, on the positive side, we scored points, and we scored a point, not multiple, but one, which is good, and we have 2 hards for tomorrow. I think it's going to be a good thing to have in the pocket.
Took a punt on starting on the soft tyres, but it was a tough old race out there today for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything went to plan for the first sector, and then Kimi completely outbraked himself, and we had damage for the remainder of the race, so it was a bit painful to drive. Yeah, we didn't learn anything.
All right. Liam, huge performance from you to get those points today. Any regrets at all about using up a hard today and not having it for the race tomorrow? Now you've seen how it plays out.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is now we won one hard down, and I think honestly, when we made the decision this morning, we had to sort of think about our speed. And yesterday, honestly, we did quite a good job, and that was where we were. So we tried to maximise today, take the advantage. Tomorrow will be hard for us to fight for the points. We need to find some speed, which we'll try and do this afternoon. But yes, it potentially hurts us a little bit.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hi Alex, we saw you made some setup changes before the sprint. How was the car feeling out there for you today?
The same. So we can't fix the car at the minute. It's painful out there, so we'll give it another go for qualifying.
Lance, I appreciate it's probably difficult to say too much more at the moment, but a positive at least that you made it to the end of the sprint race. What did you learn from that one? How is the car feeling for you?
Yeah, just learning with more laps. We finished, so that was good. Reliability was good, so yeah, see now in qualifying.
And what does the rest of the weekend look like for yourself and the team? What's the latest in terms of parts and so on?
Well, we just need to keep getting laps in, try and work on some of the issues we have, engine, car, just try and improve the areas we can, and then just more laps and more learning.
Well, does George have to add most patient racing driver on the grid to his armory? Because it's the same as Australia. The Ferrari's going to make it difficult, but in the end, the pace of the Mercedes shows.
Yeah, I mean, the Ferraris are really quick out of the box. I think that probably they overstretched the tires a little bit, so without the safety car, that would have been more difficult for them. But yeah, you know, this is a tough fight, especially in the first bits of the race.
It's funny how these new cars have returned Lewis's ability or rediscovered his ability to race. He couldn't race these cars in the ground effect, and now he can. It's quite fun to watch.
Yeah, I was texting with him yesterday evening, and I said, I'm happy to see that you enjoy the race, these cars, and he said, yeah, I'm in a good place now.
After he finished inspecting your cars in Parc Ferme.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes.
All right, and the Kimi accident, did 10 seconds seem a bit harsh, or is that these new guidelines we have? It was a fairly innocent, clonk against Hadjar.
I thought it could have been a 5-second penalty, but you know, at the end, it's always difficult for the stewards to do the right thing there.
Okay, well, he recovered. Well done today. See you later. Thank you.
All right, everyone, welcome to the channel. We have the commentary of the interviews of all of our drivers. I'm just going to tell the most important ones, and then I'll do a recap of the other drivers in general. So the sprint race of Chinese Grand Prix delivered plenty of action, intense battle in the front, and some very interesting reaction from the drivers afterwards. From excitement at Mercedes, cautions at Ferrari, and clear frustration inside Red Bull, the interviews painted a very clear picture of where the teams stand heading into the main Grand Prix. So we have a lot of reaction from other drivers. We have a lot of reaction of the teams. Everyone with their own problems, with their own strategic mistakes and mistakes of the drivers, and not full developed of the car. The drivers the majority of the drivers are struggling with the car. So I will break it down. Some of the most interesting things that they said, and then from that you will give your own opinion on the comment section, and then we will discuss it together. So let's break it down. The drivers had to say. So George Russell, the winner of the sprint, starting with the sprint race winner, he looked extremely confident after taking the victory. He explained that the most difficult moment of the entire race actually came in the opening laps. He had an intense fight with his former teammate Lewis Hamilton, who was pushing hard to take the lead early on. According to Russell, surviving that initial pressure was a key, because once he managed to keep that lead, he said that the car felt incredibly stable. There is something interesting happening to the Mercedes car. It's like you come close, it gets away. You come close, it gets away. Something is inside that engine that no other team or no other driver with their car cannot get too close except of Ferrari. So Ferraris are the best cars that can keep up with Mercedes car. He mentioned that the tire management was also much easier than expected, which allowed him to build a small gap and avoid putting unnecessary stress on the tires. So this is the thing. So when he wants, he builds the gap with other cars when he wants, you know. So there is something fishy. That's why a lot of speculations are circling in the internet, and then FIA is getting involved by checking the car every time the car comes to the garage. Something is happening. I don't want to be the one to say something that it will be wrongly said by my side, but it's circling in the internet. Russell also praised the balance of the Mercedes car around Shanghai, saying that it felt very comfortable through the medium speed corners, which gave him confidence to push when he needed. So you see, like, my words coming up, what he said, like he just says something that I just said it before he said it, you know, like we all know but we don't know. I don't know. He sounded very optimistic, suggesting that if the team keeps this performance level, they could be strong calendars for Sunday's full race as well. In the other hand, Charles Leclerc, the number 2 on the sprint, he's just finished behind Russell and gave a fairly honest assessment on Ferrari's performance. Leclerc said that the sprint race started off very aggressively, with several drivers fighting hard for position into the first corner. However, once the race started to settle down, he admitted that Mercedes simply had a bit more space. Mercedes had more pace. Look, all of the drivers fighting, but Mercedes is like a step ahead, you know, like a step ahead. And I don't know, like something is happening. However, once the race settled down, Leclerc explained that in a clean air, Russell was able to pull away slightly, and Ferrari didn't quite have the speed to close the gap. Despite that, he remained positive. He said that the team collected valuable data during the sprint and believes that longer Grand Prix could open up more strategic opportunities, especially when the tire degradation becomes a bigger factor. So the strategies here win the races. There is no more faster car. He has a faster car, this has a faster car. But with Mercedes, it's all different. So Mercedes doesn't care because it has that slight open of gap, like 0.4 of a second. It's too much. Leclerc also emphasized that Ferrari still feels competitive and the team will be pushing hard overnight to find a little more performance before the main race. So they will do something. So Ferrari, if Ferrari sees that you're doing something fishy, it will do something bigger fish, like it will bring the shark out, and then you will say, oh, whoa, what happened? Like, and you will say, like, you did it first. I didn't do nothing. Let's go with Lewis Hamilton. One of the most interesting interviews came from Lewis, who revealed that his aggressive opening laps may have actually compromised his race. Hamilton explained that he pushed extremely hard to start while trying to challenge Russell for the lead. The early battle forced him to push the car to its limit, and then he just blown it up, and then he was like feeling guilty about that because he degraded his tires, and then he didn't have the force to still push the car to its limits, because he had to get into the pit and then change the tires and then blah blah blah, and then Lando Norris, in the other hand, he was really frustrated because the car had some minor issues with the engine, and then he just couldn't being able to push the car to its limits. Explained that the McLaren Formula 1 team car actually felt pretty good in the corners, but the team seemed to struggle a bit more in the straight. So when he wanted the power, he didn't have the power. When he wanted the downforce, he had that. But you cannot do nothing on the downforce on the corners if you don't have the power to get out of the corner. So if you don't have the power to get out of the corner, you will lose some milliseconds there. According to him, he made the overtaking much harder than expected. Even when the pace was there, getting close enough to make a move simply wasn't easy. Norris also mentioned that traffic played a role in his race, preventing him from really showing the full potential of the car. Max, our beloved driver, is extremely frustrated with this new car regulations and things like that. He doesn't love it, he doesn't like it, he expresses this every time he has a chance to express. The Red Bull driver did not hide his frustration with the car after the sprint. He explained that the balance of the car felt inconsistent throughout the race. In some corners it felt okay, but in others he simply didn't have the grip to it as he expected. He said that the car practically was difficult through slower sections of the track, which made it very hard to push confidently. Max also suggested that the team still has a lot of work to do overnight to make some changes to the car, make some updates, and do something if they want to challenge a victory in the main race. And considering how dominant Red Bull was in recent years, seeing Verstappen he's frustrated definitely caught the attention of the fans. Drivers in the middle teams also shared interesting insights after the sprint. Many of them pointed out the sprint race gave teams important information about tire degradation and overtaking opportunity around the Shanghai circuit. The biggest takeaway was the difficulty of the cars and how difficult it can be to follow another car closely throughout the certain corners. That means that the strategy and pit timing will likely play a massive role during the main Grand Prix. As I said, strategy wins races, but if you have a slow car, even a strategy won't help you in these situations. Some drivers even suggest that the tire wear might be more significant than expected over a full race distance, so teams will definitely be studying the sprint data very carefully tonight. My final thought about this is that after the sprint race and the drivers' interviews, the picture of 2026 Chinese Grand Prix is starting to become cleaner. Mercedes has momentum, Ferrari is close behind, McLaren is lurking in the fight, and Red Bull may still have work to do. But as we know in Formula 1, everything can change very quickly. So nothing is predictable, and everything will come like a surprise. In one moment you're not fast, in the other moment you are faster than anyone. So either way, a team play will be the key to win a Grand Prix in this season. So hopefully we'll have a beautiful race, and hopefully we will have no casualties, and a beautiful race is expected. Thank you everyone for watching this video with us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. If you have something to add up, comment down below, and we'll see you on the next one.